Yesterday, Future Motion put out a video where Kyle, the CEO, said a lot of things that would be great if they were true, but some of them are not. He said that people have this crazy misconception that changing your tire will void your warranty. I mean, where would we have gotten a crazy idea like that from? I mean, first thing, we should probably just check the owner's manual, right? Let's, modifying your Onewheel. Never use non-Future Motion approved GT accessories or components, or otherwise modify or change the appearance or performance of Onewheel GT factory components. If you do, you will void your warranty. Where else could I have gotten that idea from? Oh, here's an email from October 14th, 2017, from when I was a Onewheel dealer. Also waiting on your reply about the board that has the broken headlight. I'm confident we can fix the problem in-house and that with future repairs, warranty issues, we can save you a ton of money on shipping costs. So naive. Yesterday, a customer had us mount a Hoosier tire on his board. We're all excited at the prospect of working on more Onewheels because they're such cool vehicles. We'd love to be some sort of official East Coast service center. Response I got: in regards to your email about becoming a service center, this is just not something that we can explore at the moment. We anticipate moving in this direction in the future. However, due to the complicated nature of our board, we do not currently have any off-site repair centers. Any troubleshooting and repairs should be directed to our customer support department. Replacing a tire requires dismantling the entire board, not true, and recalibrating the unit, whatever that means, to kind of bold-faced lies that may fool someone who's never changed a one-wheel tire, but certainly would not fool someone who literally just changed a one-wheel tire himself 3 days previously. We do all tire replacements in-house, and performing a tire change on your own voids the warranty. It's one thing to say in an owner's manual that changing a tire will void the warranty, to use it as a scare tactic and just hope that less people modify their boards. It's another thing to actually deny someone a warranty when they send in a board because the tire has been changed. Now, it seems like in most cases, Future Motion will honor warranties even when there is a third-party tire on there, and they won't void it just because you've changed your tire. I have heard stories about them taking third-party tires off of people's boards without telling them or getting their permission and sending them back with a stock tire. I haven't confirmed this, so if this has happened to you, please comment below. But I will tell you a story. About a year or two ago, my friend sent a board back to Future Motion because it wouldn't turn on, no power, and they fixed it under warranty, even though it had a third-party tire on it. And they sent it back to him, and after a day or so of riding, he was going around maybe 15 miles an hour, and the board shut off. So he emailed them again and said, hey, this hasn't been fixed, I need to send it back. They sent him a label, he shipped it back, and this time around, they told him, hey, we actually couldn't replicate the problem, so, we're not gonna fix any of that for you, but we are gonna charge you $250 to replace your rails, because when the techs went to put the board back together after diagnosing it, they couldn't really put it back together because the threads on the rails had been stripped. And the reason that the threads on the rails were stripped is because you did a third-party tire change, and because of that, it's not covered under warranty. So there's a few problems. And by the way, you can read all the details of this in the description and the link below. There is a class action lawsuit. So if this has happened to you, there's a link right there to join in on the lawsuit. Anyways, the problems here are obvious. Number one, the Future Motion techs were the last ones to put it together. So if the threads weren't stripped the first time around, there's obviously no way that the tire change could have caused the threads to be stripped, since that happened before the first time he sent it back. Also, if you know anything about the Onewheel V1 Plus XR, you know that changing a tire is not gonna strip out the threads on your rails. A lot of the threading on the rails, particularly for the front foot pads, are just insanely thin and prone to destruction. It is, in my opinion, one of the biggest design flaws on the rails. The rails are even reinforced in other places that don't need reinforcing. The third-party manufacturers of rails figured out years ago quite easily how to reinforce the threading in the rails, and Future Motion still has not improved the design. I think because it just makes it easier for them to void warranties. Kyle also said in the video that their Future Motion is still repairing early generation Onewheels. That is just blatantly false. If you try to send in a V1 or a Plus for repairs, they will say, oh, you know, we're sunsetting this product, which evokes images of a beautiful multicolored sunset. And what it means is that they're not going to repair it because it's over 3 years old. I think they will say that you can send it in and get a little discount on a brand new pint. So their business model is pretty much one of planned obsolescence, not of repairability. And I think they're even worse than Apple in terms of not repairing older products. He also said in the video that Future Motion is wide open to third-party mods and accessories. I feel like there was something else they said that contradicted that though. Never use non-Future Motion approved GT accessories or components, or otherwise modify or change the appearance or performance of Onewheel GT factory components. If you do, you will void your warranty. He makes it seem like they're open to third-party mods and accessories, just with a few exceptions of like invasive battery mods and where people have stolen IP. They've literally sued every single third-party accessory maker. Now, I used to be a Onewheel dealer, and I used to sell Onewheels and Onewheel accessories and some third-party accessories. At a certain point, I think in 2018, Future Motion banned me and all dealers from selling third-party accessories. So when they say that they're wide open to third-party mods and accessories, I would have to say, well, how can you ban all of your dealers from selling those products? Another false claim is that the firmware is tuned specifically for the stock battery pack and aftermarket batteries won't work right. I mean, first of all, if you've ever ridden a CBXR, you know that it rides perfectly. I mean, these guys who are racing and competing are training and racing on CBXRs. Also, we found out that there's 3 different battery packs going into the GTs. Totally understandable that supplies are short and you had to source battery packs from 3 different suppliers. But we know that there's 3 different battery packs in GTs, and did you rewrite the firmware for those different battery packs? I don't think so. He also said that in San Jose, where they do the repairs, that repairing the Onewheels on the same equipment with which it's built, you know, will give us the confidence that the repair is done properly. Now, I used to own a bike shop, and I've built many bikes, and I've repaired many bikes. And I know that building them is way easier than repairing them. And building requires a lot less tools than repairing. Overall, it is more time consuming and requires more tools to repair something, but it saves you from having to buy a brand new, controller box or battery box. Personally, I would rather see things repaired. In general, I just think it's less wasteful, and I think that's what a lot of us are fighting for, is the right to repair, not the right to replace or have parts replaced by Future Motion. Kyle said that, some people are saying that they're trying to make money on repairs. Honestly, I don't think anybody has a problem with you making a profit on repairs. Obviously, if something's covered under warranty, it's going to cost you to repair it. But if it's something you're charging the customer for, nobody has a problem with you making a profit on those repairs. What we have a problem with is, for instance, paying $400, let's say, for a part like a BMS that should cost $20. And we have a problem with not having options. We have a problem with you monopolizing the repair process. We also have a problem with the quality control. He says that, they have sued a few aftermarket companies who have stolen their IP or violated their IP. The problem with that is that there's a lot of patents that Future Motion has taken out that really appear that they have no intention of actually building or using. They're just doing it so that other people can't do it. And I think suspension is probably the perfect example. Future Motion has taken out quite a few patents on suspension, which are literally just two-dimensional drawings of types of suspension on a one-wheel. There's lots of different types. It doesn't look like they have actually built prototypes of any of these suspension one-wheels. And the problem is that the third-party companies that actually do make suspension, who actually are listening to the customers who want suspension, they can't make suspension with linkages. They can't make it the way that they want to because of the patents. So they have to make it in a way, they have to find that one way that Future Motion hasn't patented. And the sad part is that it really doesn't seem like Future Motion has any intention of making a one-wheel with suspension. So what is it that I actually want from Future Motion? Well, number one, stop with the lies. You're lying to your customers in writing. You're lying publicly on camera. If you say something that directly contradicts what you've been saying for years, you should either apologize for being wrong or at the very least acknowledge that you made a mistake. This public statement was a great step in the right direction, but it really feels like a baby step. Number two, and more importantly, your actions speak louder than your words. The only concrete thing that Kyle promised in this video is that tires would be available for sale to the public. So I'm really hoping to see that implemented. I'm also hoping to see third-party accessories allowed to be sold by Future Motion dealers. Right now, if you're a one-wheel dealer, whether you're a mom and pop shop or a big box store, you aren't even allowed to sell Float Life t-shirts. 3, the current state of QC and the repair policy is unacceptable. FM has consistently prioritized profits and protecting their IP over making one-wheeling better for the customer, and I think the only way to convince them to change is to convince them that they'll lose money if they don't change. Which brings me to my final point. Remember like 4 months ago when I said that Vesk was dog shit and felt like it had been programmed by a third grader? Well, Vesk is dope now. And the reason that Vesk is dope now is because people are actually working on improving it. The majority of the innovation that Future Motion has done in the past 6 years has been to prevent others from actually innovating. And that is not good for profits in the long term. I truly believe that this is their last chance to salvage their reputation and to work with the community and the third party instead of against.